Sawadee Krap. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by PSV Windows and Doors. It's official, the state of emergency in Thailand has been extended until the end of June. It's the second time the emergency decree has been extended after first being imposed in late March, giving Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha sweeping powers, including a ban on large gatherings, imposing curfews, and more. Approval of the extension of the emergency decree comes despite opposition calls to scrap it, citing the dwindling numbers of coronavirus cases. But a spokeswoman for the government said today that the extension is needed to make sure there is no second wave of illnesses. Restrictions are being loosened across many sectors in Thailand, with more reopenings expected on June 1st. Meanwhile, the beaches in Phuket remain closed. For the latest on closures and reopenings, visit thephuketnews.com. 3 new COVID-19 cases in Thailand, while no new cases announced for Phuket today. Out of the total number of cases in Thailand, about 96% have recovered, with the death toll still at 57. The 3 new cases are Thais repatriated from Kuwait and Russia. Phuket has no new cases, with the total still at 227. Over the past 24 hours alone, around the world, COVID-19 cases have gone up by nearly 90,000, and over 1,185 people have died around the world in the last day. While on the way to the hospital to give birth, a woman in Chai Nhat province was stopped at a COVID-19 checkpoint, and cutting it close, the baby ended up being born right there early this morning. The incident took place at about 6 a.m. in Chai Nhat province, as relatives of the unnamed woman tried transporting her to the hospital because she was in labor. And while passing a checkpoint, the woman said she couldn't hold back, and the nurses at the checkpoint helped deliver a healthy baby boy inside the car, acting as emergency midwives. The heartwarming story and photos were posted online this morning by the local district chief, and after the birth, both mom and newborn were taken safely to the hospital. It's been about 2 months since all 133 national parks nationwide were forced to close because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And wildlife has been flourishing ever since. Now officials are thinking about making an annual break permanent. The coronavirus pandemic has forced the closure of public parks all over the country. And while some places like Maya Bay were already closed, wildlife in all of these national parks is reportedly flourishing, with Maya Bay itself already seeing fertile underwater activity, including about 70 to 100 reef sharks spotted there recently. According to the head of the Department of National Parks, officials are thinking about making an annual 2-month break for all national parks in Thailand. But at the moment, they're studying possible timetables, as many of the national parks are distinct from one another and have separate considerations. Kaeng Krachang National Park, for example, which is Thailand's largest, they've already have an annual 3-month closure, which takes place from August to October, and similar closures take place annually with the Similan Islands. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below. A breaking story is private international schools have been told by the government to make preparations to potentially reopen on June 1st. The report comes from Richard Barrow and states that a list of health and safety measures must be taken for both students and faculty, including wear masks at all times, no large groups, no team or close contact sports, no after-school activities, all social distancing of 1 meter apart, no aircon use for over 2 hours at a time, in addition to collecting travel history of the past 2 weeks from everyone. Meanwhile, government schools nationwide have been told to reopen no earlier than July 1st, a full month later. And that's it for Phuket Extra today, brought to you by PSD Windows and Doors. For safe, secure, and soundproof windows, visit pvcphuket.com. Thanks again for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000, and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment, offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.